Hi everyone, I'm so excited to introduce my new cookbook called Wine Style. Basically, this book will take you through the world of wine, exploring new types of wine that you may have never had before, and pairing some easy, delicious recipes to eat alongside. The first recipe I'm going to show you how to make is eggplant lahmajoon. Like many of you might know lahmajoon as really thin dough topped with ground meat and baked. This version's a little different. The dough is more like a cracker dough. I wanted to keep it simple that way, and I'm also doing the filling using eggplant from Leahy Farm. So it's vegetarian, actually vegan if you want it to be, and super great to eat alongside a juicy glass of red wine. Let's get started. I got the eggplant I'm using today from the Ferry Plaza Farmers Market from the Leahy Farms booth.
Hi, how are you? Hi. Nice to see you. How's everything been?
Amber and her family have been farming in the same farm outside of Fresno for 4 generations. Really great people and really amazing produce.
My name is Amber Blakian, and
We did a video with them actually that you can check out all about their tomatoes.
Oh my gosh.
Which way? Looking center. Like this? So to make the dough, I'm going to just mix my flour, my water, and my salt together. The great thing about this dough is because there's no yeast, you can have the dough, you can mix it and start rolling it out in 20 minutes. Flour, water, salt. Okay, it's got a nice shaggy dough going on, so I'm gonna just get my trusty bench scraper and just start kneading it together. Get in there with your hands. Get any stress from your day out of the way. This is a dry dough, so it might look too dry, but after we mix it, we're going to let it rest for about 20 minutes, and you'll see it'll really soften up. Okay, now that it's kind of this like shaggy mess, I'm just gonna start kneading it on the counter. I'm just gonna take the palms of my hand and just press the dough in, pull it back, press it in, pull it back. Wow, sounds like a basketball. At this point, I'm just going to set it aside, let it rest for 20 minutes. And while it's resting, I'm going to make the filling. So, we've got this eggplant. I'm going to dice it up and we're going to start cooking it. This is one perfectly cute, good looking eggplant, by the way. If you can get local eggplant where you live, especially in the summer, that makes it the best time to make this dish. Just trimming off the tops and the ends. Just gonna dice it into just a nice little cubes. All right, nothing to it. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat up my saute pan, get it nice and hot, and I'm gonna cook the eggplant in 2 batches so it gives all the eggplant even enough space to cook. Okay, this is looking done. You can touch an eggplant and see if it's soft, it's cooked through. I'm going to transfer this into this bowl, cook the second batch. Tip for anyone who thinks they hate eggplant, this might be a great recipe to try because it's going to be pureed up with some spices and tomato. All right, looks like we're done. So the eggplant texture, if that's something you don't like, will pretty much disappear. Okay, so the eggplant's nice and cooked. Now all I'm going to do is make the rest of the topping. It's as easy as putting everything in a food processor and blending it up. So starting with the eggplant. Next, I've got a can of tomatoes. You can get some diced tomatoes, whatever your favorite kind of tomato. They can be seasoned. Get a little extra salt in there. Next, I'm going to chop up some cilantro. It can be coarsely chopped since you're going to be processing it in there. In it goes. And now to just coarsely chop up an onion. Next, I'm going to take 2 cloves of garlic. Come on, we're good in here. And a real easy way to peel a garlic clove, just smash it. I'm going to peel it and then just coarsely chop it. Next, to add the seasonings. So I've got some paprika, some cumin, some dried oregano, and some tomato paste. Let's give this a whirl. Okay, now for the fun part, we're going to start rolling out the dough. All right, so this dough has been chilling while we've been working on the filling. Get some flour down. Like I said earlier, since the dough doesn't have any yeast, it's really easy to make. You just let it rest for a little bit, and then it's ready to roll, literally. Cut it into 4 different portions. Next, I'm just gonna use the palm of my hand just to roll it into a ball. I can do 2 at once if I'm feeling coordinated. Okay, so next I'm going to just set aside the dough that I'm not using, concentrate on the one I am, and we're just gonna roll this into a nice flat oval. If you're not familiar with using a rolling pin, just aim for starting the rolling pin in the center and then rolling up, putting it back in the center, and then rolling down. Dust it every so often so it doesn't stick. Sometimes I like just to pick it up and stretch it a little bit with my hands. Still pretty thick. Still got a ways to go. I'm aiming for a length that is the same length as a half sheet pan size. So this parchment paper is cut to fit a half sheet pan. So you can see I've got a little bit more room to work. Now I'm just picking it up with my hands. It's getting nice and silky soft, and I'm stretching it a bit, letting gravity kind of help stretch out the dough. If at any point the dough is really hard to work with and keeps stretching back like a Band-Aid, Then just set it aside, start working in another piece of dough, and come back to this one in a few minutes and it'll have relaxed and it'll be easier to roll out. Okay, so this is what I'm aiming for. A nice even surface, not too many thick parts, and this is ready to go on my parchment paper. And then I'm gonna start on the next one. So if you have a pizza stone, you wanna preheat your oven to 500 degrees with the stone in it. If you don't have a pizza stone, preheat your oven to 500 degrees, and then I'm just gonna put a nice heavy-duty half-sheet pan in the oven for 5 minutes. It's gonna heat up the surface, and then I'm going to transfer this dough directly onto the sheet pan, so it'll start baking immediately. So the dough is now par baked. It's not baked all the way, baked just enough that it's something that I can now put the filling on and then finish the baking process. So I'm taking about like a cup of filling. Kind of looks like meat, but this is all vegetables. You want a nice thin layer? And then this goes in the oven for another 5–10 minutes depending. You just want the top to be set, the crust to be baked through, and we are done. Quick tip, if you don't want to go through the trouble of making your own dough, you can make this filling and just serve it with crackers. Everything is fully cooked here and it's ready to go as a dip, or put this on pizza dough and you can make your eggplant lahmajoon a little bit puffier and more like a cheese-free pizza. So here we go, eggplant lahmajoon, vegetarian, vegan friendly, and a great thing to have when you're having people over for a glass of wine. So let's see, moment of truth, let's see how this thing tastes. I'm gonna get some yogurt on mine. Garlic yogurt's great. You can also add some pickles. I'm gonna put some more cilantro. That is awesome. And it's even more awesome with some rosé. Can't wait to have friends over to treat them to some eggplant lahmajoon. So stay tuned for more videos. Check out Wine Style if you love wine and food, and I'll see you next time.